All right. Hello. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're located. Welcome to the webinar. Your chat should be switched on, so give us a shout about where you're joining from. Let me make sure your chat is turned on. All right.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for taking time from your day to be with us too for the webinar.
Yeah, so we haven't done one of these in a little bit, so we're glad to be back onto our admissions FAQ webinars. Recently, we've been focusing more of our webinars on the individual parts of the enrollment process, from gathering transcripts to funding to um, how the transfer of credit process works, challenge exams, all of that. And that's been really interesting to break it down into those little pieces. However, since our fall term is coming up, we know we have a lot of people that are trying to get things done and may have questions about how everything works before they get too far into it. Or maybe you're already a part of the process, but have questions that have come to mind. So we're going to open that up to you all in just a little bit. But before we get there, just a couple of notes. Again, welcome everyone. We're excited to have you here. Um, you might notice that you're muted. We still want to hear from you. So if you put your questions into the chat, that'll tell us what you have on your mind. Just make sure that in the chat box you have it set to everyone instead of just hosts and panelists, because that'll let everybody see what your questions are. But we want to make this as conversational as possible and then have information for you if as needed. So what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to touch a little bit on the ACHS history and a little bit about our mission and vision. Just so we like to start off all of our webinars that way so that you know kind of what we keep our eye on and what's important to ACHS. We'll give some time for you to put your questions into the chat and see what's on your mind. And then once we've had those answered, or if there's anything that we're going to cover later, then we'll start moving into the FAQ section and then go over a little bit at the end about how to apply, how to enroll, and some of the dates coming up that you'll need to keep an eye on. Um, so let's jump into that. First of all, who are we? So if you're not familiar with ACHS, maybe you've looked at our programs but haven't dug into our history at all. ACHS was started over 45 years ago in a much different way in New Zealand by our founder, Doreen Peterson. Um, we have students all over the world at this point in 60 countries, as you see there, and we've served over 10,000 students and graduates in that time. Um, so watching ACHS evolve from um, the small roots that it came from to where it is now, where we have international online capabilities, is really something we're really proud of. A part of that growth has been gathering accreditation. So we are accredited by the Distance Education Accrediting Commission ever since 2003. So DEAC is a Department of Ed recognized accreditor. And what that means is that they were independently checked out to make sure that the programs we offer are going to give you the information that they say they will. So we recently had our reaccreditation visit last year, and were awarded a 5-year renewal, which is the highest renewal rate that you can get. So we're very proud about that, and knowing that you have a quality education. We're also very intent on keeping our certified B Corp status. And if you're not familiar with what that means, um, companies from all different industries can apply for B Corp status, but there are stringent regulations and things you must meet to be recognized as a B Corp. What it means is that there is an extended focus beyond the business. So things like the people that we serve and the planet and the communities that we're in we have a focus on that rather than just profits and finances. So that is something that we have to provide a lot of information about, our volunteer hours, the things that we do in our individual communities to help each other out. So we're very proud about that as well. And from our beginnings where we, Doreen was mailing courses out and grading them herself to where we are now, with all of the certificates, diplomas, and degrees that we offer on the undergraduate level, the graduate level, and now even the doctoral level. We're just very proud of how we're able to bring this education to the world. So just a little bit about us there. And from there, what is our mission and vision? So it's important for us to always keep in mind what we're trying to do and what we see as possible through education. So our mission is to lead the advancement of evidence-based integrative health and wellness education through experiential online learning and sustainable practices. So we want to be the leader of this type of education and focus very specifically on integrative health and wellness, so that if that is something you're passionate about, that we have the programs to get you to that level that you're trying to get to. And we want to do it in a sustainable way. So offering multiple paths to get where you want to get, matching you with the right program, making sure that what you're taking is going to be the right fit for you. So we'll talk about that a little bit more today. Our vision, once that mission has been accomplished, is that integrative health and wellness education is accessible to a global community, promoting sustainable and healthy futures for everyone. So not just within the United States, not just within certain states, not just within a certain perimeter of Portland, Oregon, but all over the world, we see that being accessible to everyone. So that's what we're constantly working toward. And we're, once again, pleased to have you all here with us as a part of that conversation. And hopefully we can bring some new information and answer your questions today. With me today, we have two of our admissions team with us. We have Amanda Heller, the Director of Enrollment Services, and Jessica White, our Senior Admissions Advisor. I think between the two of you, y'all have about 35 to 40 years of admissions experience.
Yeah.
I think add me in there, we're close to 60. So a lot of time working with students and talking about what you're trying to accomplish and matching you with something that works. So, but I can just say, just to brag on the team here, Jessica and Amanda, as well as all of our team, really do have a passion for helping our students and connecting and helping you find the thing that's going to be the best fit for you. They do a great job and they really care about their students and taking care of them. So glad to have them with us today. I will be quiet now and turn things over to them so they can walk through everything else. But we're at the point now where we want to hear from you. So if you have come in today with a particular question in mind, or maybe a general thing that you want to know about, or something you're hoping to gain from this webinar, take a moment and put it in the chat if you have something now. If you don't have anything right now, that's fine. You can always put it in throughout the webinar and we'll try to address them as we go. But some of the things we'll cover in the FAQ section might answer that question, but go ahead and pop in there if you have anything specific you're hoping to gain today.
Yeah, our goal is we did design what we're going to talk about today, our top questions that students call in or email us with on a regular basis. But it doesn't mean that you may have the same question. So please don't be shy. We'd love for you to type into the chat box what your top questions are, and we will literally start working on answering those if you have some outright.
Or if you're more comfortable, the Q&A box, we're watching both of those.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it doesn't look like we have anything just yet, but open invitation as long as we're going through here. Feel free to pop in questions and we'll take those as they come. All right.
Cool. So let's go through those top questions we talked about, and we're just going to sort of hit it one by one. So ultimately, a lot of students come our direction knowing that they have a interest or even a passion that's been growing through the years for integrative and holistic health. So they know once they find out, oh my God, there's a real legitimate accredited college, I can go to school for this. They know their heart has found the right place, but where do you get started? How do you figure out the right program? And we try really hard to come from an individual standpoint. So honestly, versus just throwing you on the website with tons and tons of information or throwing the catalog at you, we want to work with you one-on-one to help you navigate, because you may know that you want to specialize in a specific area. You may not know how to communicate what your goals are quite yet, or how to narrow it down. And that's what we're here for. So we want to meet with you one-on-one. So the first step, honestly, is always going to be meeting with your admissions advisor. We're digging into things like, what do you love to do? What do you hate to do? What are your interests? Do you work in the field? What do you do now? Where do you see yourself in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road? So we pretty much are taking all these puzzle pieces of your life and your goals, emotionally, mentally, logistically, and helping you find the right pathway that fits you. So that way you don't have to stress and figure it out all by yourself, to be totally honest, because you might know that you're interested in aromatherapy, for example, but we have like 6 different programs in aromatherapy. So where do we get started? And it's going to be a good fit for you personally. So we really just work with you one-on-one to give you that advice and support, and get you headed in the right direction. What do you think, Jess? From like,
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
yeah, I think exactly like Amanda said, you know, so a lot of times when we speak to people the first time, they're just so excited that they found us because they found, like she said, oh my gosh, there's a school where I can actually study this and I can earn college credits and I can do this whole thing. And you can, and it can sometimes be like, but where do I start? What do I do? There's so much information. And like she said, either the catalog or the website is all chock full of information. But to be able to narrow it down is kind of where we come in, because we can find out more about your personal goals and your education goals and your career goals and all of those things and tie those together to kind of show you where you should be looking, either on our website, on our YouTube channel for different maybe webinars that we've had about the program or specific classes, things like that. So it's really just a matter of having that conversation between yourself and your admissions advisor and really digging into what you're looking to do, maybe what you've done in the past, or you know what you're looking to do in the future, where you stand with your education right now, what your education goals are, and just kind of piecing that all together so we can find the right fit for you and helping you get started with that.
Like, do you have college credits? Do you not?
Yeah.
How quickly do you want to graduate? Do you have a job
Mhm.
waiting?
Yeah.
It's so different student to student. So we really just take that individualized touch. And I highly recommend checking out our YouTube page. YouTube, we've worked with our sort of the media side of the college, and they, over the last 2 years, we're posting every webinar, any lectures, talks we have are all reposted after they're held live. So we have some fantastic webinars from career services, each of the program departments and program deans, that can give you a great insight into different pathways and career opportunities in itself. And also, it's sort of a nice meet and greet, since we are online, to see some of our staff and program leaders before you even start school. Next slide. Ooh, Jessica, what's the best time for me to start school? Because again, how do we navigate our options?
Yeah, for sure. And it's always different too, you know, different schools start at different times and things like that. So not sure when classes start, what the deadlines are. We can communicate all of that with you. It's on our website. But we basically have a continuous enrollment kind of going through. We have classes that start basically 6 times a year. So spring, summer, fall would be our main regular 15-week semesters. And then in between those, we have our mini sessions that start at the midway point of each one of those. So like spring 2, summer 2, fall 2. So there's always, a place where you can jump right in and get started in classes. I mean, our main goal is to find out exactly what's going to work best for you, but we're always aiming at trying to get you started, within a time frame that's going to work for you. But if it's something that you've been looking into and really wanting to get started, we're going to work with you on trying to get you into whatever the next upcoming start is. And then if we, need to push things out, or for whatever reason you've got travel plans or whatever the case may be, we can always make adjustments from there. So it's really just about figuring out your schedule and figuring out how you can make it work, because you're adding something new, right? So that part can be a little bit like daunting potentially in the beginning, because like, how am I going to fit it in? But that's, again, we have these conversations, we talk about time commitments, we talk about, when you can start classes and what to expect. And then it's just a matter of kind of fitting those puzzle pieces together and working on getting started.
Yeah, but the beauty is being an online college, that continuous enrollment, because our students do go to school fall, spring, summer, it puts them on a fantastic timeline in terms of your graduation dates.
Yeah.
So depending on your schedule, we can project when you'll graduate and you have a very accurate plan, minus any possible changes in the future. And that mini session is also a great way for students that maybe start and they're like, I sort of underestimated how much time I have. And they want to add a class on each semester too. So sort of those two different dates add some flexibility in how we can build your schedule now and in the future, especially if you're trying to graduate sooner rather than later.
For sure.
Next slide. Oh, this is a big one. I think this is my favorite to talk about our support system and how we support students, because a lot of people think online, I'm all by myself. And we have a very student-centric focus and a very unique model that we've created to provide the most support and sense of community we can in an online environment. So first of all, once any student is formally registered for classes, we match you up with a student success coach from our student services department. This is not a babysitter. This is going to be the person that you actually get to connect with, get to know, and is your biggest cheerleader while you're going through school. Maybe you need a schedule change. You need to handle a situation. You had a really tough week at home. All the kids were sick and you got sick and you didn't get an assignments turned in. They're there to provide guidance and coaching throughout your program to help you support your success to graduation. Next, we have a full running peer tutoring program now. That's been incredibly successful. We have peer tutors at both the undergrad and the graduate level. And this is a wonderful opportunity once someone's been a student, if you're looking to get more involved, build your resume, and you can also apply to be a peer tutor also into your program or after you graduate. But this is a fantastic way to have someone to support you one-on-one outside of the tutoring available from your professor as well. We have writing center help, because some people need a little help in the library, editing papers, maybe perfecting the APA formatting, how to cite a source right. So we have that available to students. And let's see, timely care. You want to talk about that, Jessica, a little bit? Because
sure, yeah,
that's new this year, and we're really excited about that too.
Yeah, for sure. So timely care is something that we offer to all of our students, free of charge. You go in, you can create an account. Once you become a student, you'll have access to get that account created. You can do everything in there from just watching short little videos on either meditation, or short little videos on like maybe I need a study break and like a quick exercise I can do at my desk and just stand up and stretch. From that all the way to obtaining some medical like visitations, online, appointments without any copay or anything like that. You can have a doctor in your state contact you, that you can go through like therapy type sessions as well. I mean, there's a whole list of things that you can do. It's a really great service. We try and make sure all of our students are aware of it, taking advantage of it. I mean, to be able to see a doctor without a copay is pretty huge. So, I mean, that's helpful in and of itself. But if you get in there and just dig around, there's so much more.
Yeah, none of the services have copays. So there's counseling and therapy. There's also health and wellness coaching. And we've really been encouraging a lot of students that want to become health and wellness coaches, take advantage of that as students, because not only for yourself, but to experience maybe some different health and wellness coaches, personalities, styles, as you build your, education background in your resume too. So amazing. It sort of takes place of like being at a physical campus and having a traditional health center in a lot of ways. We have the Facebook coaching group. So that is only for students and alumni though. So I want to say we're very careful about who we invite in, because we don't want random strangers or people like that are not part of the college in there. So when students attend orientation, they get their official invites and can join. And that's an amazing, very active group. I see students everything from ask each other for study tips to sharing their websites as they're building their business pages, asking advice about jobs. And then we have all of our staff in there to help with questions too. Like someone with our career services director posted a job this morning in there. So very active.
Yeah.
And of course we have virtual live. Oh, sorry, Jess.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we also have virtual library. Do you want to talk a little bit about the success and career services?
Yeah, for sure. So student success webinars, those are held generally with the student services team, and they'll cover all different topics. They're offered at different times throughout the month and throughout the year. Could be, talking about time management or study skills and things like that. So those are really, really helpful. Really great things to watch and attend live if you can. If you can't, they will also be recorded and you can watch those. We'll house those for you to watch. But super helpful. And just kind of touching on that same point, it allows you to kind of get some face-to-face time too, and see some staff and your student services advisor maybe face-to-face and speak with them and work with them on different things. Career services, Amanda kind of touched on, that department will time to time post jobs in the Facebook coaching group. But once you become a student, you don't have to wait until you're almost graduated or anything like that, finished with your program. Once you become a student, you can be in direct communication with our career services and alumni department. They'll work with you on setting up a career profile, really talk with you about your goals and what you're looking to do, so that there's always a game plan from day one, kind of moving forward and helping you achieve those goals.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that surprises students is career services wants to connect with you in your first couple semesters. What do you want? Where do you see yourself? And if you say you get in a position, maybe you need a new job, you hate where you're working, they'll work with you, whether it's something to pay the bills, practice interviewing. They'll help you even if you want to be an entrepreneur, they'll help you set some goals and guidance towards building your business through and help you with those steps throughout your program. You don't have to wait until your last semester or as an alumni, but they are available once you graduate as well.
Yes, for sure.
I don't see any questions so far, so I guess next slide. And again, if anyone has questions as we go along, please don't be shy. Post them for us and we'll answer them live. Okay, this is our third biggest question is, I want to apply, but how do I get all of my transcripts ordered? First, don't panic. We are here to help because we do it every day. And like Troy mentioned, Jessica and I have almost 40 years of experience between the two of us. Your advisor will be able to help you figure out how to get that transcript, or even where is it? Whether it's a high school transcript, a current college, maybe you attended a school that's closed now or got taken over by another college or university. It's our jive. It's what we're good at. We like being detectives as well. But if you want to jump into the process yourself, we often recommend I literally Google the name of your college plus official transcript. Usually the first link will take you to your former school's transcript request page. They'll have steps on how to order it. And there's usually like, you can order it by mail, and then they'll tell you if they offer electronic options. Highly, highly recommend the electronic transcripts because we often get those in less than 48 hours. But sometimes if they only, there's still some schools out there, the only option is to have it mailed, that's okay. Either way you move forward with that transcript, key thing is you want to make sure they're sent directly to the college. If you order a transcript to be sent to you in your email address, for example, that is immediately considered unofficial for us. It's compliance. So when you order them, you just want to make sure it comes to our school's registrar, whether it's mailed or electronic. But I can say, and Jessica, you may have information on this, but Parchment, Clearinghouse, those are sort of the two most common electronic companies schools use. As long as you search our college name, we pop up and it sort of autofills all of that information. So like we're in the system as a school that can accept e-transcripts. So typically it's a problem. Other tips of the trade, Jess?
Yeah, I mean, I think you covered most of it, honestly. And I think too, like a lot of times when I talk to students, they feel like you said like, oh, my school's closed, I won't be able to get it. Like the records are still somewhere, they still exist. They didn't get destroyed because your school is closed. And we definitely want to get them because it just benefits you in the long run. Another concern that I get a lot of times is like, oh, well, I graduated from high school or from college like over 20 years ago. I don't think my school still has my record. Like they definitely do. They have to.
By law, they have to.
Yeah, they have to. So we'll help you find it. And again, it is sometimes it can be tricky. Most schools have it laid out pretty straightforward. You, like she said, just Google the name of the school, official transcript, and you can generally find instructions. If you can't, let us know, because like Amanda said, that's something that we do day in and day out here, and we're pretty good at the sleuthing part, so we can figure it out for you.
So one thing to know is part of the admissions process, the transcripts are there to meet academic requirements when you officially apply. But even more importantly, and this is our top priority, we want to take advantage of any possible transfer of credit.
Yeah.
We want to see you save money and time where you can. There is no world where I want someone to have to take Psychology 101 over again.
Right.
So we're also thinking, is there any potential transfer of credit to save you time and money, shorten your program so you can graduate sooner? And that also includes all graduate work, because I do have students that are applying to the master's or a graduate certificate. If you've been to graduate school before, you may not think it's related, but I have seen, for example, research classes come over from other programs. So never, never hesitate to share every school you've been to so we can just help you through that process.
Yeah, for sure.
Next slide. Ooh, that leads right into this. You want to talk a little bit about transfer credit, Jess, and I'll let you take that.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So 100% yes, we do take transfer credit. Always up to the registrar to review any official transcripts that come in to ensure that we can accept from your previous schools. And there's factors that go into that. It could be your previous school's accreditation or the credits earned for the classes or the grade you earned in the class. There's a lot of things that the registrar will look at to make that determination. But ultimately, our goal is to maximize all of your transfer credit. As much transfer credit as we can get for you, because like Amanda said, we don't want you to have to retake English 101 for like the second or third time because every school you went to made you take it for whatever reason or whatever the case may be. You just want to make sure if you've taken it and we can get you credit for it, we'll get you credit for it. that's why it's really important, you know, just to send in everything that you have in terms of official transcripts. We can really work on getting that maximized and then review that with you so you know exactly where you stand in terms of transfer credit. Another option with getting credits for different classes is challenge exams. So on occasion I get maybe questions about like, do you get credit for like work life experience and things like that. So it's not necessarily set up like that, but there are opportunities for students to do challenge exams, which is basically if you feel very comfortable or confident in a specific area, you know, within one of the classes, maybe you feel really good about anatomy and physiology because you've taken some and then the class just didn't have enough credit, so we couldn't transfer it. Challenge exams would be a really great option for that. There's a fee that you pay in order to take that challenge exam, $75. And essentially what you end up doing is taking the final exam for each class that you plan to challenge. And as long as you score 70% or higher, then you get awarded credit for the class and you don't have to take it. So a really, really great option just to kind of show what you know kind of thing by doing those challenge exams. And that also can help you with, you know, time and money and things like that, and kind of expediting getting through the program.
And what's really cool is the registrar will refer us like to communicate with a student if based on your transcripts and your educational experience, like potential places you may feel confident testing out. So they actually even sort of look for that as well to make the recommendation to you.
Yeah.
And then another place I find it common is students who have a background in holistic and integrative health that may have done some professional studies, but not through a traditional college. Again, if you have done like level 1 aromatherapy work with another institution, but we can't transfer credit because they were not accredited, let's try to test out of at least Aroma 101, for example. So we will work with you on that. And you can do up to 25% of the credits of your program challenge exam. So I see this most common at the associate's bachelor's degree level, but I've also had some medical professionals in our graduate programs who are like, I work with people every day in the health field. I'm going to test out of A&P, you know, so again, we're here to help you through those steps and navigate your options. See any questions? Nope. Okay. Oh, what is my schedule going to be? So it's a little bit different depending on the student, because the requirements are different from undergrad to graduate. So one thing I want to point out is we work with each student individually while determining your ultimate schedule, because not every 2 students are alike. You have family, life, work, school, maybe other obligations. So we're going to help you navigate how much time that you can commit to your studies and help you build a schedule based on that, because we'd rather you have balance versus being overwhelmed. So with that said, here's some sort of general FAQs. For undergraduates, again, we're on a semester schedule. So full-time for an undergraduate student is equivalent to 12 credits or 4 classes. Graduate studies, full-time is actually 9 credits or 3 classes. And then we want to go a step above that. For doctoral students, full-time is 8 credits because each of the doctorate classes are 4 credits each. But how do we break that down? So we estimate that you're going to need about 8 to 10 hours a week for school for each class that you enroll into. And Jessica may do this a little differently. I like to round up because 10 is a nice even number when you think 8 to 10 hours. 8 to 10 hours. So let's say you're in an undergraduate, you're in the associate's degree, you want to be a full-time student and take all 4 classes. We need to make sure you have 35 to 40 hours a week for school. If you only have 25 to 30 hours a week of for school, we probably should do 3 classes instead of 4. Graduate students full-time at the 3 classes is about 30 hours a week. A lot of my students that work full-time and they're working on their masters, some of them only do 2 classes at a time, a little bit better balance for them. You need about 20 hours a week for school. And then from there, once we know what's going to be a good fit for you to get started, we build your first couple semesters, and we have a general recommended course sequencing for the classes you take in the order they need to be taken. With all of that said, you have a schedule, but it has an amazing flexibility. You want to talk about that part, Jess, and sort of how you speak to what does it mean to be an online student?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, in terms of actually, once you have your classes kind of picked out, you've worked with your admissions advisor and reviewed transfer credit. We know that you want to go part-time versus 3/4 time or full-time. We've got all that picked out. You know what classes you're taking. Now it's talking about how do I go about doing these classes? What's involved in these classes, and what will I be doing in class? A lot of people now have been pretty comfortable with going to school online or have gone to school online, and some people never have. So sometimes it's new for people. Our programs are super, super flexible in terms of when you log on, when you study, and kind of how you get things done. There are specific due dates and deadlines for all of your assignments and quizzes and papers and things like that. So you want to make sure that you're adhering to those deadlines. But as long as you're, getting things turned in on time when you log on, when you do certain things, that's kind of up to you and what works best for your schedule. There are also, you have the opportunity or the option to attend once weekly live sessions in each one of your classes. With those, the recommendation is definitely to attend them live. It gives you an opportunity to meet with your professor, your classmates. If you have questions, they can be answered right there in a live setting instead of waiting to hear back, either for office hours or via email. If you can't attend live, that's okay too. You won't be penalized for not attending live. It's always recorded. You would definitely, at minimum, if you're not attending live, want to watch that recorded session so you're not missing any information. But again, the recommendation is to attend live if you can. But aside from that, I kind of touched on it. You'll have reading assignments that are given to you. You'll have quizzes, maybe papers or different projects that you're working on. We send out different practical lab kits with the classes too. So there may be some hands-on things that you're working on with maybe some different herbs or essential oils in the classes, which is really nice and gives you kind of a practical, touch on things. So you have some hands-on while it is online, you still get that practical and hands-on experience. But that's kind of the gist of it. Anything you want to add there?
I sort of sum it up as the classroom is available 24/7. Whatever schedule you want to create works.
Yeah.
Because again, the classroom is available 24/7. So you don't have, it's not like when you were on campus and you had to drive to campus and sit at lectures 3 days a week from 5 to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
You get to create a schedule that works for you. And the 2 things to be mindful of is what Jessica said, your weekly due dates. So for example, our fall classes starting in September, the due dates each week will be Sunday at midnight. And then the other thing to be aware of is just those weekly classroom sessions with your professors. Those are live. And like she said, we encourage you to be there. But worst case scenario, you watch the hour recording later if you can't attend because you're at work. Again, that's why we post the recording to create that flexibility, but you still get all of your participation points. So any questions so far? I don't see any. Okay, next slide. What technology do I need? So I feel like as the world goes, it's getting easier to sort of have what you need. Any computer, laptop you have, I'd say as long as it's within the last 4 to 5 years, you can watch video smoothly at home with no issues and has speakers and a webcam. That's the key things to be aware of. You don't need a brand new computer or laptop. If you have one you bought a few years ago, it's probably going to be okay. And of course, reliable internet. I mean, there's so many options now with internet. I feel like that's really expanded as well, because there's even Starlink if you travel. So I have one student, she does all of her schoolwork from a boat in the middle of the ocean because her husband works out in the ocean. It's incredible. So you really have that availability to take your school wherever you have your computer and internet. Students have full access to Google Suite, which like Google Word and Google Documents, which is so amazing nowadays. And that includes like the Google Drive for saving everything. All of our students get a full subscription to Grammarly, which is amazing. It does like everything from spell check to catching grammar. You can upload your papers for grammar checks. It's fantastic. And then from there, it's having a backup technology plan because life happens. Like, for example, we just had the hurricane in Texas. Things happen. So whether there's a weather-related issue, maybe someone hits a power pole down the block and your street is without power for 3 days. Your computer dies. So I always recommend having a family or friend be like, can I come use your computer if an emergency happens? A very common emergency backup for a lot of our students is the public library because they have full access to computers and internet there during business hours. Same thing with the internet. If your internet goes down, do you have a popular coffee shop? Nowadays, even the grocery stores I know in my town have free Wi-Fi. You just have to get hooked up to it. So a lot of options to have backup. So if something happens, you don't have to get your assignments in late. But if there is a really crazy weather event like a hurricane and everyone's without power for a week, you just want to get a hold of your student success coach. That way they can let your professor know what's happening and we can support you and help you create a backup plan and a plan of action to not get too behind in those extreme weather situations. Just so you know, we understand those happen and we're here for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Other tips, Jessica, just from students having backup plans or?
Yeah, I mean, the backup plan is a huge one because you just never know, right? I mean, like you said, things happen and you're not really usually ready or prepared for them. But when they do happen, it's like, you don't want to be scrambling. Communication is key there, though. So if something does happen, just making sure you communicate and letting us know kind of where you are with everything so that we can work with you. Another thing is like our phones are amazing, right? Phones can do a lot of things, but you can't go to school just on a phone. So like you definitely want to have a laptop or a desktop computer. A lot of it is mainly there's, typing a paper. Like if you're writing a big paper more than like a page I don't want to even write a page on my phone. You want a computer, like, because you will have papers, you will have things. I mean, like I said, phones are amazing and they do so many things, but you can't fully go to school on just a phone. And I think sometimes people think that they can. So just making sure, an actual computer that you have, laptop, desktop, that's going to be your best bet. It's going to save you a lot of headaches for sure.
Phones and tablets are fantastic for checking quick discussion boards.
Yeah.
Reading some of your ebooks, posting and seeing if there's a quick message from your professor. But you truly need a computer. And then communication, like Jessica said, let your success coach know what's going on. We once had a student get their computer stolen from their car. Same thing. Yeah. Let your professors and let your success coach know so we can help you navigate those stressful situations. Because if they don't know what's happening, we can't provide that full support for you. And we want to, because we want to see you happy, successful, balanced, and eventually graduating. Next slide. Ooh, how to apply. So we found what you want. We found your dream program. You're ready to start the process. The first thing I want to point out is we have no application fee. We don't want to prevent anyone's access to applying to the college. So you don't have to stress about that at all, because we know that's important anywhere you can save money, right? You complete our application fully on the website. It'll probably take you 30 minutes, and it is straightforward and holistic. We want to know about your story, your background, where you come from, why you want to do this, and where you want to go. It gives us on paper a snapshot of you. And then well, I guess I just sort of talked about that, you know, what you're hoping to accomplish. I think the biggest thing sometimes is just sitting down, taking some time to just do it and get it submitted, because life can sometimes get a little crazy. But we do try to make it as smooth as a process as possible. So once you submit it, your admissions advisor will be in touch that same day or the next day when we see it pop in, so we can go over what happens next, if there's what missing documents we need, and to see what we can help you with to get those documents pulled together. Next slide.
Can I add something on, Amanda? One thing I want to put out there as well is you may be on today and you've already done your application, or maybe you're a current student that's thinking about your next program with us. That happens a lot. What I would encourage, we say, you know, tell us who you are and what you want to accomplish. That we definitely want to know that about you just on a personal level, just because that helps us, you know what's important to you. But if things change, keep that conversation going. Like, for example, if the first time you meet with us and do your application, you're not really sure how you want to apply this education in the future, you're passionate about it, but you're not exactly sure, do I want to go into business for myself, or do I want to be more in research or work at a nutraceuticals company, whatever. If you don't have that targeted end goal in mind, that's okay. But the more you think about it, it may come up and you may start, having something coming together. It's always welcome to modify what your story is, either with us in admissions, or, as you're a student, reach out to your student success advisor and say, hey, look, I've decided I do want to open my own business. Can I focus my electives on more business related or entrepreneurial courses rather than, something that might be more research heavy or things like that? They can help you select your courses, not just in the beginning, but ongoing. So the whole point about tell us who you are and what you want to accomplish, that's not just in the beginning, that's all the way through.
And the other part is, if you have something to add on once we talk, it is not uncommon for us to add manually from our side information to your application. I had a student who called the other day with some additional information about some of their professional successes in the field, and even ended up sending their resume with their background. And so I attached that to their application. So all of that helps us, and also makes your application as awesome as possible too, right? Ooh, we sort of touched on some of these meetings. You want to sort of talk about the difference between the meetings though, Jess?
Yeah, for sure. So there's a lot of times throughout, the process, throughout all of the admissions process, that you'll be in communication with us in admissions. And they can be everything from, a more lengthy, maybe 30-minute or longer phone call to, a quick email or a text message, something along those lines. There's lots of different ways that we'll reach out and try and communicate. And there's always a reason behind it. There's something we're trying to help you get through, or something we may need, or just an update for you. Communication is the biggest thing, and it helps kind of get everything done and, in a timely manner and smoothly. The first initial meeting that you have with your admissions advisor is going to be, the one where we're really digging into you and finding out, what are your main interests and goals? What are you looking to do? Where are you currently with those goals? Have you already started working on them? What are your education goals? Really finding out everything that we need to know in that initial conversation, or what the most we can get. So we're pointing you in the right direction and giving the right steps to start with. Figuring out program, course load, start date, all of those things. Follow-up meetings, kind of like I said, we'll be in touch with you throughout the process. You know, phone, text, email, we've got different ways that we can communicate. Whatever's the easiest for you. You know, if you have a preference, if you prefer phone calls over text messages, or you prefer text messages, you know, it's however we can communicate the best and get little things done. But there will be lots of different little follow-ups here and there to make sure we're supporting you along the way, so that you know where we stand with everything. It could be, hey, just wanted you to know I got 2 of your 3 transcripts. I'm waiting on this one. That way, maybe you think we should have all 3 and you can follow up on that 3rd one. Well, what happened to the 3rd one? I requested them at the same time, whatever the case may be. So lots of different touch points there. And then once we have all of your transcripts and the admissions committee has reviewed everything, your application, your transcripts, you've been accepted, we can get back on the phone, go through an academic plan appointment. This is the part where we're reviewing now if you have any transfer credit, and going over that, looking at what classes you're going to take, how many classes you're going to take each semester, picking out your, you know, your book options, and all of these different things that we would do in order to put together your academic plan for the first few semesters, so that you're ready to go when classes start. But like I said, lots of different touch points throughout the process, different ways that we communicate, and you can always reach out to us anytime too. You don't have to wait for us to communicate. You can contact us with any questions, things like that.
I think that's what makes us unique, because I have worked at traditional universities, and someone applies, they hear back 9 months later, and everything's through email or a portal, and you have to figure it out on your own. We're really here to be your point of contact, your resource, your advocate. And that includes through acceptance, building your academic plan, helping you secure funding, whether that's military benefits, setting up payment plans, working with you and your employer on tuition assistance or reimbursement, helping you schedule financial aid appointments. And then we literally are there with you through formally enrolling and getting registered as well. So we're one of your biggest cheerleaders from the very beginning, and going to help you step by step. And I think that's my favorite part, and why I've worked with ACHS for over 11 years is the personal touch, and I truly get to support students. Versus, I know I was a first-time college student. My parents didn't know what was going on. I had to figure it out myself. And that's made a huge impression on how I want to help others. And we can do that for you here. So it's really cool. Financial planning. So we talked about a lot, but finances are always a big one. So how do I pay for school? There's so many ways you can invest in your education. Samantha, maybe you've been putting money aside, or I had someone the other day, they had a relative had started a college, one of the 529 plans. So you can make semester and monthly payments or as you go through school. I'd say most popular is a monthly payment option, because there's no fees or interest. We can take any total. So let's say you're taking a couple classes in fall, you want your books included, etc. We take the total, divide it by 4. So we can do monthly payments the entire way through school. If you have any tuition education benefits through your employer, you've applied and been awarded any scholarships, we'll help you through the steps of being able to utilize that as well. I have students here and there that are eligible tribal members for tribal funding and education programs. We'll work with you and your tribal education counselor to get that set up. We work with all military programs as well. So for both veterans, spouses, dependents, if you're not sure about eligibility for VA benefits, we even can help you and guide you to where to go find out, and then help you with all the paperwork and steps to make that occur. And then, of course, we also are a Title IV college. So students that want to investigate financial aid options, undergraduate students may want to see if they have any grant eligibility loans. We have, Title IV graduate loan options. Or what combination of all these things, if you have multiple funding methods, can we piece them together to make your education as affordable as possible? I guess I like to communicate with everyone that you are not a number here at ACHS. We care a lot about your financial health and wellness and the burden of student loan debt. So we want to help you put all these pieces together to make the best funding plan of action possible for you uniquely, and to help you keep your student loans as low as possible as well, if that's something you want to or need to utilize at any point. Thoughts, Jessica, on any other funding options you can think of that students have used lately?
I mean, I think those are the main ones there. And I think, you know, the biggest thing really is, like she said, we really try and cover this pretty thoroughly with everybody so that there's a firm understanding. Like you don't have to pick just one option. It can also change, you know, it can change as you go through your program, but you can use multiple of these different funding options, whatever really works for you and whatever makes the most sense. You know, there's nothing that says you can't use, you know, some financial aid if you need to, plus make a monthly payment, because that just helps you in the long run, reduces what you're borrowing and what you owe at the end and things of that nature. So it's really just kind of piecing that together and having that conversation and seeing, you know, where you are with everything in terms of funding your education. Everybody's situation is unique and a little bit different, but we'll make sure that we cover all that with you for sure.
And we have a separate financial aid office and military department. So we will always get you to the right person. And another thing I'm really proud of is on our team is very well educated on like military benefits, tribal funding. We all are well educated and aware how those programs work. So you're not going to be passed along person to person as you're trying to figure it out either. So next slide. Now it's time to register for classes. So like Jess had mentioned with the steps, once you have been accepted, we build your plan, your funding is secured, we finalize your enrollment paperwork and get you registered for classes. All students are required to attend new student orientation. That happens about 2 weeks before classes begin, and everyone gets 10 days to complete orientation. Orientation, we mimic it after an actual course. So imagine orientation as like a mini class. We want you to learn how to use the classroom, navigate the different aspects of it. You might complete some orientation tasks as if you were submitting a paper or writing a question to your teacher. And student services is active in orientation to support you as well. But if you are proactive and you're like, I have time, we have some students that'll just sit down and get it done over like 3 to 4 hours as well. We just want to give you some freedom and flexibility to get that going. And then once orientation's over, we hold a live welcome webinar for our student services. The welcome webinar is a live face-to-face with all of our academic and student services team. And that way you get that meet and greet and honestly a warm welcome as you, a few days later, start the first day of your college classes. I think it just helps our students a lot, again, being virtual, to know who they're working with and talking with, and is supporting them from the get-go. So that's sort of my favorite part and sort of the peak to like right before you begin classes. Let's see here. Jess, we have a question.
There's a question, yeah.
How do we find out what we're offered for financial aid? So 1, you want to make sure you filed your 2024-25 FAFSA. Step 2 is you want to make sure you added our school code. Once you're accepted, we will help you schedule a financial aid appointment with a financial aid advisor. That appointment is a full hour. It may not last an hour, but we want to make sure you have space to ask questions, and we want to make sure you're empowered and have all the information possible as well on how everything works and determining what financial aid you'll be using and if you're doing any monthly payments. With that said, financial aid appointment can only occur if you have added our school code to the FAFSA, because your financial aid advisor needs to be able to access it to tell you what are you qualified for, what is your eligibility, and then they'll go over the amounts, how you'll cover your expenses, and put that plan together. I hope that answers your question. But yeah, you have an entire one-on-one appointment to get all the information about the financial aid portion. I hope that helps a little bit. So important dates. So big, most traditional time of the year, fall classes start September 3rd. This Friday is actually our priority application deadline. We say priority because we want to try to make sure we have enough time to get all of your transcripts in, accepted, help you get into those possible financial aid appointments. But as long as we have classes available, we're going to keep taking applications through August. The key date we want people to be aware of is the registration deadline on August 8th. If a student has not been accepted and finalized their funding by the 8th, there is a late registration fee of $35. And so we manage that with each student uniquely, depending on the circumstances and situation. But I do want to highlight that even after the priority deadline, we are going to continue taking applications as long as seats are available in the classes we're offering this fall. So you just need to talk with your student admissions advisor, and they're going to guide you through what we need, and they can help you get everything in fairly quickly, because again, those e-transcripts come in super quick.
There's a question too. Leroy, hi Leroy, actually, how are you? So you're asking if there's a registration fee, and if so, when is that due? So correct, there is a registration fee, no application fee like we discussed, but there is a registration fee. You know, depending on how you're planning on funding your education is when that would be taken care of. So if you're doing some sort of a monthly payment or something along those lines, that would be included in your first payment, which is due at the time of registration. If you're planning to use financial aid and you have that there to cover, it can cover, the financial aid can cover that fee. So it kind of depends on a couple of different factors and how you're funding your education and going about the process. But we'll guide you through all of that as well. But it would be due at the time of registration.
And it's a one-time $200 fee. Students only pay it once per program. So the only time you would pay it more than once is, most common is like, we have, you say you come to the ACHS, you complete your master's degree with us, and you come back and you're accepted into the doctorate program, you would pay that $200 fee then at the time of the enrollment of the second program. But we do include it in the first term registration costs. You do not have to pay it separately, but you could if you really wanted to.
Yeah. One more question in the Q&A. Christine's asking if you choose monthly payments, are the four, yeah, so there's no, you're asking if the 4 payments is equal to the same semester amount. The answer is yes, there's no interest or fees that are applied onto that. So whatever your semester total is literally just divided by 4, and that would equal your 4 monthly payments, and it's just paid throughout the semester. So yeah, same thing. Good question.
We want to make your education as affordable as possible, so we don't want to incur you to have to incur fees just because you budget on a monthly versus quarterly or semester based with your bills. So yeah. Oh, just if, let's see, did we have any other dates left? I think the big thing, again, classes start the 3rd. We're still taking applications. So just want to reach out if you have any questions about that individually, and we will support you individually with what we need to make happen to support your goal of starting in the fall. Oh, here's our whole team. Of course, Jess and I are on there, but you may have recognized some faces, recognized some names if any of y'all have already started working with someone in the admissions office. But we have a group of really passionate people that love what they do and are here to support you. And so if someone is out, you're not sure who to reach though, you can always make an appointment with any of us. We'll always take care of you. And just communicate with your advisor if we're in touch that day and need to give them an update. Anybody can answer general questions or support you with steps as well. Awesome. I mean, thank you again, you all, for attending today. This is always just really rewarding to be able to share information, answer questions, and please don't hesitate to reach out to us one-on-one if you have any questions after today. You can call into the main campus or even send us a quick email.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for staying on with us a few extra minutes, and let us know how we can help.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Have a great day.